Hi brides! I first want to congrats everyone on their engagements. I know you guys are all busy planning and getting ready. So let me introduce myself. My name is Lauren Doyle. I am a certified travel agent. I specialize in destination weddings and honeymoons. And my business, my mom and I own the business together. We've been in the business for 25 years. Obviously I have not because I was in elementary school, but we know the business and we have some awesome tips, and I'm going to share with you some great tips on how to save money on your honeymoon. So my first tip for you guys is to use a travel agent. Now that might be obvious, but a lot of people think travel agents cost so much more, but it really turns out that we end up saving you so much money. And the way we do this is that travel agents get paid by the hotels, the tour companies on the back end. So you don't have to worry about any of that. Expedia and cheapcaribbean.com and all those .coms, those are online travel agencies. So they actually are the same thing. But with me, you get to actually call me, text me, and you get an person with a travel agent. So whether you use someone local to you or you're more than welcome to contact me and use me. I have clients all over the United States and actually in the UK as well. But we offer exactly what the online travel agency, and the difference is we're just more personable, and I see that we still have people hopping in, so I might take a little pause here and recap for a minute. Hi Jenna and hi Angie. I'm so happy you guys are tuning in. I'm super excited about the 5 budget saving tips to help you plan your honeymoon. And I was just telling everyone the first tip, and I see a few more people joining in, so I'm just going to wait a second. I've been in the business. My mom and I both own the agency together. We've been in the business for 25 years. Well, she has. I have not because I was in elementary school then. But we actually love what we do. I love helping brides and grooms. It is so much fun and so exciting. It is such a special time in your life. So I'm super excited for everyone, and I just can't wait to help you guys. So why don't we go ahead and jump in here. My first tip is to use a travel agent, and that might be obvious to you, but a lot of people think that travel agents cost more money, and it's actually funny that we end up usually coming in cheaper. We have great pricing, the same as what you would find online, directly from the website or using cheapcaribbean.com, Expedia, all those. I mean, there's millions of them. So they work the same way we do. They get paid, they're a business, and they get paid from the hotels just like I would. And travel agents really know the deals. We book this stuff all day. Week after week, we see the trends, and we could really help you save a lot of money that way. We know when the good deal is out there. So I really urge you guys to use a travel agent, interview someone locally. You're more than welcome. I would love to help you, so you can message me, private message me after this, and we could go from there. So using a travel agent, definitely recommend it. It's going to save you money, and if you want to make sure you find the right person that fits your style and knows exactly what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about another tip. And I see some questions. Christina has a question, and Jennifer, so we will definitely get into those. So, all right, another tip that I definitely recommend doing is being flexible with your dates. So I know all these brides, you want to go on your honeymoon right after you get married. But if that happens to be in the middle of spring break or Christmas break, that is going to be the most expensive time to travel. So you kind of want to think about coming up with some flexibility with dates. Traveling during the week is always cheaper. So you want to keep that stuff in mind. Another tip too, Sundays and Saturdays usually have direct flights from most airports to Caribbean locations. So when work travelers aren't working. So you want to kind of think about maybe that too. So just being flexible really gets you that great price. And then, I kind of just talked about airfare. Airfare is usually about 50% of the cost of your honeymoon. And we have no control over that. No agency or online travel agency has control over the airlines. And there are 3 major ones in the U.S., and that would be Delta, American Airlines, and United. And then we do have JetBlue and Southwest, which are all great. But, they are just so regulated and are so expensive. So, that's definitely going to be a big chunk of your budget. And I recommend, I personally have to pay for my airfare too, and I recommend getting a credit card, especially if you're purchasing tons of stuff. You might as well get a credit card that has awesome airline miles, and then you might even get a free flight out of it. So just think about that. I have tons of brides and grooms that I work with that use that, and you could use your miles, towards airfare. So, that's something to just keep in mind. And what I really love to tell brides, and I know I was reading the Facebook page. You guys are so awesome. Everyone's so helpful and nice. And I was asking where everyone's going for their honeymoon. And I just love seeing, we had a lot of Hawaii. We have a lot of people undecided. We have people wanting to go to Europe. Some people are just doing a road trip and staying local in the U.S. So there's so many options. But one thing that was discussed a lot was the all-inclusive. And a lot of people like to save the all-inclusive for your honeymoon because it is stress-free. Honestly, if you pick the right all-inclusive, you're not going to have a stress in the world. And let me tell you, not all the all-inclusives are the same. They vary. We have good ones and we have not so good ones. And some that like to sneak in all those hidden costs when you get there, and that's the worst. So you want to make sure that you pick the right all-inclusive for you. And again, that's how an agent can help you figure out which one's the best for you. So the way an all-inclusive works, it is basically they're bundling everything together. So if you like to have a few cocktails on your trip, and if you like to do some water sports, and you like to eat like all day, especially if you've been on a diet to fit into that wedding dress, you just want to forget the diet and eat. So an all-inclusive is really a great way to do that. All your food's included, all your drinks are included. Tipping is already included. You don't have to pay for that. Your transfers to and from the airport. So at first, the all-inclusive price might look expensive, like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. But you honestly can leave your wallet at home and not have to think about anything. And who doesn't want to do that on vacation? So that's a great option. Another tip that I really like to tell my brides and grooms is that you really want to buy a vacation package. So this means that you want to try to bundle everything together. So just like me, I work with wholesalers, and we usually get better deals when we do the land and air package together. So that means I could get wholesaled air, which is cheaper, and that's a great way to save money. So that's just a great tip. If you want to go to Europe, it's great to bundle your airfare, your train tickets, your tours together as well. And that's the way we can get some skip the line passes, skip the line at museums, because who wants to waste their honeymoon standing to get into the Louvre for like 2 hours? You don't want to be doing that. So there's just some little tips, and when you bundle it all together, we can save you money and time. And time is so precious on your honeymoon, because we could all want to go away for a month or two, but most people have about 7 days, maybe 10 days depending, and you want to take advantage of all your newlywed time. And another tip I have is planning ahead, and I see so many people planning ahead, which is awesome. Another reason why this group is so great, I just love how people are like, yeah, I'm not getting married for like a year, and they're already thinking about their honeymoon and thinking about all these details. So that's a great way that you're going to save a bunch of money. Certain resorts, like I'll just mention Sandals, since a few of you guys were talking about that, they have the cheapest rates further out. And they always have sales and everything, and tons of resorts really have some cheap rates early on. So especially if you want a certain room category or if you want that private plunge pool overlooking the ocean, you want to make sure you get on booking that. And another great thing is if you're using the right agent, we have super low deposits. Mine start at $20 per person. So, I mean, who doesn't have $20 to get your honeymoon started? And then we also have great payment plans. So if you want to pay off a little each month, you can absolutely do that. So that's a great way to kind of budget and not stress about the money, because no one wants to be stressing about a budget when you're supposed to be happy and this is the best time of your life. So you don't want to put pressure financially before you get married, especially if the wedding's been stressful. You want to make sure if you do want that honeymoon, international or going away somewhere really special, then you should really plan ahead for it. And if you plan ahead, use an agent or talk to family members that can really help you figure out what a good budget is for yourself. And only you know that and your fiance. But I definitely strongly recommend discussing that, and then you could kind of get realistic about, wait, can we afford the overwater bungalow in Bora Bora, or should we, dial things back and maybe stay a little bit closer and go to the Bahamas or Florida, or you could splurge and go to St. Lucia. There's definitely different levels of honeymoons out there, and we ensure we work with all budgets, and a good agent will work with all budgets and work with you to get you that dream honeymoon, because it is totally available to everyone. You just got to kind of plan a little bit and think about it. So I see that a few people are asking, oh, can you help me? Can you help me? So I work with, I have clients all over the United States. So just like this, I do live videos. We do Skyping, FaceTiming. If you want a little sit down with me, or we could do a conference call. I'm super flexible with that. And everyone's so busy. I have a lot of night hours because my bride and grooms work during the day. So we can absolutely set that up. And depending on where you want to go, I could definitely help you with that. So let me just read. I have a lot of comments coming in, and I could kind of take a minute here and go through some of these comments, which are a little hard for me doing live, but I'll do my best here. I am based in the Carolinas, so I'm on the East Coast, and I would definitely love to help you no matter what coast you're on. I have a ton of clients in California, actually, and I'm originally from New York, so I have also a ton of clients up there. I moved down here a few years ago and wanted to get away from the cold weather and the snow, and it is so nice. So I definitely have clients all over, and I would love to help you. If you are looking for a local travel agent, definitely interview them. I mean, I have people that call me up and say, hey, I'm interviewing. I do free consultations all the time because I think that I don't want to work with someone that I don't click with either. So, it's great you really want to have a good relationship, just like all your wedding vendors. You don't want to get a florist that doesn't understand your vision. So, I think that a travel agent is the same way, especially if they have experience with brides and grooms. So, let me scroll here. How far ahead can you book? Airfare is only out 330 days prior to departure. So you can't book your airfare farther away from that. I think Southwest and Spirit Airlines, those are only 6 months out. So just to give yourself an idea, however, you could book the land a year or two out. Certain cruises have their 2019 schedule out. They definitely have 2018. I've seen a few itineraries for 2019, but your resorts, you could definitely book a year out. I think the sweet spot is really 9 months. I think you have a better idea. Airfare, you could do the whole bundle package. But again, if you know you want a specific room, I would not hesitate because they do sell out. Let me keep scrolling here to, I'm great. I see some people that have a travel agent or have used a travel agent. That's awesome. And we definitely want to encourage that. and I see someone's in Maryland. I actually used to live in DC as well, so I am familiar with that area. And I saw a lot of people want to go to Hawaii, which, oh my God, who doesn't want to go to Hawaii? So romantic, and there's so much to choose from there, lots of islands. So again, I recommend getting a consultation, a little more one-on-one, so we could narrow down exactly what you want and what you think your fiance wants and things like that. Because really what it's all about, guys, is matching what you guys want with the right trip. It's not about Googling what's the best honeymoon or cheap honeymoon. You don't want a cheap honeymoon. You want an amazing honeymoon. And there are ways to go around it. I'll recap just a few of my quick tips. You want to be flexible on your date. Being flexible allows you to go ahead and think about, being flexible gives you the opportunity to save a little money, because you can check that airfare, maybe go on the off season. Oh, and I didn't talk about shoulder season. That's an amazing time to travel and save some money. So the travel industry has the low seasons, high seasons, and then they have this thing in the middle called shoulder season. And that's a great time to get away because it's not as crowded and you have usually good airfare. Now, airfare has been crazy and like so annoying, and it's been expensive lately, but at least on the resort end, you could usually get a deal with some shoulder seasons. Costa Rica, Belize, those are popular places that really have a true low season and a true high season with a shoulder season. And you'll see some of their rates are like double or triple during high season. Low season, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so cheap. So definitely something to consider. However, during those low seasons, that's hurricane season, rainy season. So you kind of need to think about those things, and it depends on, what you're up for. I have sent honeymooners to many islands during hurricane season because people want to travel and they want to go after their wedding. So I do recommend travel insurance, which could save you money if you had to cancel, but it's always good to have travel insurance, and that might be a whole nother video on some things you have to do as part of your honeymoon. But in this day and age, we have to offer travel insurance, and I always travel with it, but that's up to you, and that's totally a personal thing. So again, shoulder season is a good time to travel because it's during those funny times that, people might not be traveling. Your high seasons are going to be Christmas, spring break, summer in Europe is very popular. Caribbean in the summer has a lot of families, but, if you're staying at an adults only all-inclusive, you obviously won't have that, but airports, things like that will be more crowded with families. January is a down time. So if you want to save money, January is a great time to go, usually a week after Christmas. When everyone's doing their detoxing, you could be at an all-inclusive, sipping your cocktails and having it at a great price. So I see Jocelyn here is just asking, is it cheaper to use an agent or book through the resort? So that was one of my first tips, and I know a bunch of people are still hopping in on this video call. So a lot of people think it's more expensive to use an agent. I have to pay them a fee, but you know what? A good agent is going to save you money, and they shouldn't be charging you a fee. So they get paid just like Expedia makes money, and the same way all those online travel agencies make money, they get paid by the resorts and the back end, the hotels or the tours, whatever it is. So travel agents, you don't pay us, we get paid by when you go on your trip. So yes, if you don't go, we don't get paid. So some agents might charge a retainer, just a deposit to say, I'm doing all this work, I hope you go on your trip kind of thing. But they really do know what they're talking about, and a great agent's going to save you some money. They also offer you that peace of mind and can really help you get that dream vacation you're looking for. All right, Tatiana, this may have been asked, but what's really included in an all-inclusive? Great question. I did touch upon this because a way to save money is to do an all-inclusive. And if you and your fiance love to eat and love to drink, then an all-inclusive is going to be a great option for you. You're going to save money because you pay for it all up front, and it's a whole package deal. So a good all-inclusive will let you leave your wallet at home, not your passport, your wallet at home, and you won't have to open it for anything. So they include the transfers to and from the airport. They should be including the tipping. They should be including all of the taxes. You shouldn't have to pay for anything extra. The spa normally is not included, but your agent or in the details should go over exactly what's included. But non-motorized water sports, your transfers, round trip transfers, that is. Wi-Fi is something that is and not. Some islands are much better with Wi-Fi. Mexico's great. So it just depends, but definitely do your homework. Another tip is you have to know what you're buying, especially on the Groupon. I know people were talking about Groupon and Living Social deals and stuff, but they are just trying to sell what Cheap Caribbean is selling, and Expedia. There is just like another way of advertising for companies. So you really want to know what you're buying and what really is included in that super cheap rate. Wow, I got such a great rate. It's only $500 for 1 week for me and my fiance with the airfare. It's just kind of like, wait, what? Airfare is usually $500 to most islands from most US gateways. So just go ahead and think about that a little bit. So my Canadian friends, I see a few of you are here, and I'm going to Canada this summer. I'm so excited. I'm taking my family, and we're going to Toronto, one of my favorite cities, and we're doing some touring up there. I'm checking out a few resorts and things. So I can help Canadians. It just depends on where you're going. We could talk about that. You could private message me, and we could discuss how I can help Canadian agents. What's my favorite spot to travel? So my honeymoon, I went totally exotic, and I went to Thailand for my honeymoon. My husband, or my fiance then, but my now husband, wanted to do something crazy and exotic, and so we went for it. The airfare was so expensive. It was like more than the whole trip. But once we got there, it was super cheap. We got massages every day. We went to a few cities and islands, and just our favorite way is to go to an island and rent a moped and just drive the island and have fun and stop along the way. So we totally got to do that. And it was super fun. So I think that's really cool for an exotic. I don't know if I would go back yet, but it's an amazing time. Any tips for Europe other than, okay, Amanda's asking, what tips do you have for European travel? So for Europe, airfare is expensive. So I would start tracking your airfare. You could use Flight Scanner. You could use Google. You could use Kayak. Set up a flight tracker. Track that airfare. Then another tip for Europe is to be bundling everything together. So you want to bundle your hotels with the tours and your transfers all together, because that could save you money. I just did a honeymoon, and the bride got back to me. She was so happy that we did her transfers. She didn't realize that the Rome airport is an hour away from downtown Rome. So no one wants to wait for an Uber or catch a cab. We took care of everything. It was a flat rate. She didn't even have to think about it. And we took care of that for her, and it was definitely cheaper than just waiting in a taxi cab line. So no one wants to do that. Oh, great. Yeah, we have a lot of Canadians here. I'm just scrolling through some more questions. Can you help book cross-country trips? So I really specialize in doing international travel for honeymoons. So at the end here, and we're going to be go ahead and giving away a voucher soon in about 6 minutes or 5 minutes. So, that voucher is going to be for international travel, Caribbean, Europe, any of the exotic locales, but it will have to be international. So I can't really book any cross-country, unfortunately. I've never driven cross-country either, so I probably wouldn't be that good at it, but it's something I totally want to do, and I think you would have a great time if that's something you and your fiance want to do for sure. Ooh, cool. I see someone else thinking about Thailand. What's some of the best resorts? Michaela's asking. Okay, that is a really hard question to answer. I definitely have some favorites, and you know, it's hard to just come out and say, oh my gosh, these resorts are amazing. But I don't recommend anything that I personally wouldn't stay in. I think that you really have to speak with an agent or talk to someone that's been there, and you want to make sure that it's fitting your personality almost. So if your fiance is super active and he can't lay on a beach chair for more than 5 minutes, do not go to somewhere that is surrounded by beach and there's nothing else to do. So you kind of have to think about both of you and what you both like to do. Me personally, I could lay on the beach for like days, but my husband is like totally bored. So we always have to kind of stay at a resort that has lots of activities. So it's something to definitely keep in mind about. Multi-country trips, absolutely. They are stressful, and I recommend totally getting an agent to do a multi-country trip. If you want to do London, Paris, Italy, if you want to do Mediterranean, go to a few countries, definitely get an agent. We piece it all together. And the most important thing when doing multi-destination packages is you want to use an agent because you want it to go seamless. Again, I book a lot of Tahiti and Bora Bora, and those places also you're island hopping. So you want to make sure you have someone that has an eye over everything. So I definitely oh wow, Angie's asking if I've ever booked any Canadian bear hunts. No, and I've never seen a bear. I've seen a bear, but I'm kind of scared to like come into close contact with a bear, but I love it. And tons of road trip honeymoons. I think that's awesome. I don't know how it would really help, just because you're using your own car, but you know, feel free to PM me if you need advice about some hotels. I mean, we definitely book hotels in the US, so that is totally something I can help with. If you need to, I know Jessica's asking, Jessica Lauren, who she has same name as me, which is cool, how to get in touch with me. So you could totally private message me. My name is Lauren Doyle, and you could also email me. My email is lauren@thetravelmechanic.com, and I will definitely chime in the group. And I believe that this post was pinned at the top, and we could definitely get in contact. You could email me. My website is www.thetravelmechanic.com. And my mom and I own our agency. We've been in the business for 25 years. I obviously have not, because I was in elementary school, but her last name is Mechanic, Jenny Mechanic. So it really works with her. That's why we're called the Travel Mechanic. And I see Elizabeth wants to go to Europe. I love it. And we are going to wrap up here in 2 minutes. What's the best Hawaiian island to go to? That is such a tough question. It really depends on what you want to do, how active you are, but I think Hawaii is amazing, but I also love Maui. It's just so hard to decide. But I do recommend, if you're going on a Hawaii honeymoon, that you island hop. There's so much to do. You really want to go make sure you island hop. All right, let me go ahead. I will comment my website and my email, so you have it and you could just click on there. You could also private message me, and I will definitely reach out to you. I can absolutely help with cruises. I see Raquel's asking that. We do a lot of cruises. We work with certain cruise lines, so just PM me and I'll let you know if we can help you out. But see a lot of Hawaii. All right, guys, this was so much fun. Let me just scroll real quick if I can answer any other questions you have. I see a lot of people have never traveled before, never left the US, and I think your honeymoon's like an awesome time to do that. Like, what a great memory you have. Like, your first stamp in your passport is when you started your life together with your fiance. That's like so amazing. I love it. I love it. So, all right, guys. Well, I think I've answer most of these questions here, and now it is giveaway time. So I have to look up here because I need to get the coupon code for you. So if you book a honeymoon with me, you get a $200 voucher. Now, the way this works is that it has to be 6 nights or longer, It needs to be an international destination, and we need to do air and land package together. So I'm sorry, this is not going to help the road trippers out there or anyone, you know, my Canadian friends. I am going to have to double check on booking because I have run into some issues with Canadian bookings. So I will definitely check on that for you guys. And if I can't help you, I definitely have some Canadian friends. I know a lot of Canadian agents out there, and I could at least refer you to a really reputable, awesome agent that specializes in honeymoons and destination weddings. So let me go ahead and just get this coupon code here. I am so sorry. This is taking me a little bit longer. All right. So the promo code, are you ready? It is Now What 2016. So please mention that coupon code when you're booking with me to get your $200 voucher towards your 6 nights or longer international destination. And international must be Caribbean 6 nights or longer, or Europe, or one of the exotics, Bora Bora, Tahiti. It does have to be international to the U.S., international to the U.S. because I am US based. So it must be international. So excited that you guys joined me. It was super fun. I really hope I hope I helped you guys, give you some tips on how to save some money for your honeymoon. And again, feel free to private message me. I will comment below. Thanks, Tatiana. Thanks, Jessica. So awesome, guys. I'm liking all of these. I hope I answered your questions. And feel free to go ahead and I will repeat the coupon code one last time for the voucher. It's Now What 2016. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye.